With our top story, the DA will have a permanent leader by April next year. That's after the resignation of Mmusi Maimane this week. Now, the party has begun the process of selecting someone to place at the helm in the interim. Well, KwaZulu-Natal DA leader Zwagale Mnqango joins us from our Durban studios now. Mr. Mnqango, thank you very much for joining us this morning. Are you in the running to be the interim leader of the party?
Morning, Oli, and morning to your viewers. Oli, I haven't made up my mind about the position of a leader. It is true that there are members who have engaged with me and asked me to consider, but I can assure the viewers at home that at the moment I haven't really made up my mind whether I will take up that position or not. But my commitment for now is to continue growing the DA in KwaZulu-Natal. I have been elected for a second term in the province. I still believe I have objectives that I want to achieve in this province. So at the moment, my focus still remains with KwaZulu-Natal.
How soon will you make up your mind, sir?
Clearly, I think closer to the Federal Council, I will know whether I will be contesting, and also we're still going to open the nomination process. And I think by that time, I will know whether I will take up this challenge or not.
When is that Federal Council taking place? We heard soon, but we don't have an exact date.
It's going to be around mid-November.
All right. Let's talk about the members of the DA that defected to the ANC yesterday. In fact, happily welcomed by the KZN ANC secretary there. How many were they?
Look, Chloe, let me say, what happened yesterday for me is it's an embarrassment to the ANC what Mdumiseni did, because he actually misled the public through that press conference where he was claiming to be welcoming DA members. Only amongst those members, there are individuals who resigned from a DA. I have dates of their resignation. One of them resigned on the 15th of April, and that person joined the ANC then. He is currently holding a position on a branch in Mpangeni from April 2019, but today that person was revealed as someone who just joined the ANC from the DA. Another one resigned from the DA on the 30th of May, and months later, that person, we are being told, is joining the DA because of current challenges DA is facing. Another former councillor who joined the ANC yesterday, actually that person resigned from the DA on the 17th of October, after we served her with disciplinary charges. So it can't be true that the ANC will go around mislead the public and say now scores of members are joining the ANC. Is not really true, totally, and this affects that those members are not DA members. I think the ANC is welcome to welcome ordinary members. For me, I can say those are just ordinary members of the public who have joined the ANC, but we can't then allow a situation where the ANC is misleading the public and say members of the DA are joining the ANC.
All right.
Mr.
Mnqango,
None of the members of the DA have joined the ANC.
Clearly, as you say, it may have been opportunistic of the ANC secretary in KZN to announce the welcoming of these members of the public, as you say, into their ranks. But it is important to highlight what they have said since their departure from your party. For example, Melika Singh, who was the chief whip of your party in the Umsunduzi Council, pointed out that racism was an issue, and it's something that she had written to Mmusi Maimane about so that it could be dealt with. Is there a problem with racism in your party, sir?
Look, I think managing an organization such as the DA, which is so diverse, is a very complex process, Oli. We always have different views and ideas, but unfortunately, in the DA, because it's a multi-racial organization, every time when people disagree or having different views, some resolve to the issue of race. I will make an example, just a typical example, Toli. If you look at a national level, we have 6 senior members who have stepped down from their positions. Here I'm talking about Mogs, Paul Bowie, Athol, James, Mashaba, and Maimane. Yeah. Only 2 of those are actually black, but still you hear people saying DA members are resigning from the DA. The black members are resigning from the DA. It's not about race, Toli. Yes, people have different views, different ideas, but it can't be that every time I differ with a white colleague, it becomes a race issue. Yes, there are issues of diversity. I think as a party, we have a challenge. We must debate about those issues. But it will require a robust engagement. If we are truly committed to a non-racial society, we need to start engaging about whatever issue that seems to divide us. It is true that we need to have an open discussion, and I think the DA is allowing a space to have a robust engagement on this issue. That is why we are tabling a policy on redress, because it talks about how we ensure that we have an inclusive economy where no one is left behind. Also understanding
Mr. Mnango,
there is a majority of South Africans who find themselves outside the mainstream economy.
All right, Mr. Mnango, I am out of time, but I'm going to squeeze this one in, so please, very quickly for me. You have said publicly, in fact it was on Monday, that the return of Helen Zille into the DA does not mean any problems or is not going to have headaches for the DA. I'd like you to revisit those words. Are you willing to stand by those words to say Helen Zille's return to the leadership structures of the DA is not bad for the party? In fact, she should be welcomed and supported.
Indeed, Helen Zille has been elected by the Federal Council by majority. We have a commitment to support her. If Helen Zille succeeds, DA succeed. So we must support Helen Zille. I believe by herself, she can't change anything. We have principles and values. She can't change those. We sit at FedEx. We make decisions collectively. She won't just make decisions by herself. So I don't believe that Helen Zille will change the face of the organization, will change the direction of the organization by herself. We are a team. We have federal executive. We have to make those decisions as a team collectively. I don't believe Helen Zille by herself, she will change anything in the DA.
Mr. Mnango, thank you very much for your time. Well,